Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show all members are present except for Supervisor Wickman. Was he not gonna get on anything today?
Not that I have heard from him.
Okay. Start with. Will read the following statement before opening a public comment period. Now begins the public comment portion of the agenda. The team broadcast, is this the right one? What is on here? Script. Oh, there it is. Excuse me. If there is anybody from the public that wants to make a comment to the board, they will need to go over to the table and read the script and fill out the form to make a public comment. At the end, we will reserve 30 minutes for public comments, but you will only get 3 minutes to speak on your topic. The board will not respond unless the chair allows it. Okay. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Up next, Brandon Burmeister, an interim engineer, public hearing on the vacation portion of Harbor Lane in Section 2, Township 75N North, Range 34W West, Pot County, Iowa, approximately 928 feet, and sign of resolution number 37-2025. Motion to public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman, absent.
Okay, public hearing open. Those speaking in favor? Anyone speaking in favor? You gotta come up to the podium and give your name and address to the record. Thank you.
In 1967, the interstate went through.
Name and address.
I'm Andy Fisher, and this is my wife Jill. She owns the property on both sides of Harbor Lane and we farm there. And it's a narrow road, which just needs to stay a narrow road because you can't economically spend the money to widen it out. We're just asking for it to be closed because over the years, the line kind of gets a little fuzzy. Where it is and how our house is situated. I might stop at the house and block the road, stuff like that. And I don't expect the county to keep up a dead end road. And it's a safety factor. We have numerous people come down it, park on it, or they park up at the farm, and it just kind of gets to be a nuisance. And so it's just, and John Rasmussen and I have been talking about it for the last 20 years. And even before Craig Jensen, 25 years ago, the guy that ran the underwood shop, we always kind of joked about closing it. So, and it doesn't affect anybody else on the road at all because it's not right on the property line. It's north of the property line towards us, probably 150 feet. I didn't actually measure it. Mr. Burmeister might have it, but I just don't see it being any effect. We looked at it with Craig Jensen and John when he was with the county. There's a driveway, field driveway on the left side and the right side. They can turn around in it. They're all okay with it. We just thought it was just time to close it.
And you're prepared to maintain it at that point?
Yeah. I mean, we pretty well moved the snow on it. I mean, the county took care of decent. But being a dead end road, you can't expect a lot.
So Andy, it's hard to tell on the map, and I apologize. I probably should have went out there because I know where it's at. But if we move it to the property line, is there not room to have us turn around there?
They probably, yeah, they could in that field. But if we just go up there, yeah, if it's easier for the county, move it to the property
it's-
line. We have no problem with
it
that.
just-
It's probably easier.
It's just gonna be cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely yeah, move it to the property line. I have no problem. Whatever's easiest for the county.
What's Brandon's got to say?
I'm not sure if we can add to, this is what was originally published, so I'm not sure if we can add footage to it.
Amended?
We can always shorten it, but I don't know if you can lengthen it legally.
We don't have an attorney here, do we? Wow, that's not good.
And it's not something you have to take action on this resolution today.
Okay.
You just receive public comment at the public hearing and then
Okay.
take action.
But if you're,
Or just leave
You're
it,
fine.
either leave it as it is or move it, whatever's the easiest.
okay,
That way you can just put the
Perfect.
rest today, because you guys are always busy.
no, we'll get this resolved.
Yeah, whatever.
As long as there's a spot to turn around.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, Craig's been out there several times and the road grader
Yeah, I don't
about it.
have any, I just like to see it squared off rather than have that piece hanging out there
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
have
no,
to,
that makes sense.
you know.
Total sense.
You're not planning to put a gate on it or anything?
What's that?
You're not planning to put a gate up, are you?
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna put a gate.
Scott,
What's that?
Do I need to come up?
No, well,
Yeah, we don't have any.
You got
plans for a
something to
gate. We
add?
Just,
I
Scott,
do.
you want
Can I
to
do
take
it
that
from here, or do
longer?
you need me to come
what's that?
up?
Take it to the property line.
I think that'd work better, don't you?
Yeah,
I think that'd work
I
good.
do want to add, do I need to come up or can I say it from here?
well, you should come up,
Technically,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, give your name and address for the record,
Jill Fisher,
Yeah.
22457 Harbor Lane.
for sure.
West Iowa. Okay, I know we had it all planned out here. I'm not really clear what you're suggesting.
Well,
Here's the map.
Yeah,
Come on.
that helps. I'm a more of a visual person.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, I get it. Should've,
I'm just asking them to explain it to me.
right, yeah, so,
Yeah,
so you guys will want to go to there.
okay.
We just want to give it straight to the property line.
and it's.
It's all you.
Okay, so where's my house?
Your house right here.
Right here.
Yep.
I'm not good at this. Okay,
Yeah.
so
There's probably, put it on the-
by the alfalfa,
Yep,
is that what he's suggesting?
Yes,
turn around the alfalfa, there's a driveway right
Like
there.
by that driveway?
Yep,
Like on which side of the driveway?
left.
This side?
Yep, the alfalfa. Boom.
And then the county could turn around?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we need someplace for the county. That's
Right.
fine. I have no issue.
no.
You're exactly right.
You have to maintain this because there's still some people there.
Yeah.
And that makes total sense, like you said, the real
Right.
estate agent,
Yeah,
property line right there,
Yeah.
that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of suggested, but I thought
Okay.
just in case there was a problem.
no, I think that's more than adequate and fair.
Are you good with that, Brandon?
If it's allowed to add to it.
Yeah. But
Well,
otherwise, I would say.
We can just have
quite
another,
fine.
we can close this public hearing and then,
I just want it closed.
Yeah,
I want it over with
yeah,
as quickly as possible,
okay.
so I can knock it off my slate.
Okay.
You see what I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a little story about her. I was back in the combine out in the shed. And we had people come jogging up the road and I thought I was hallucinating. And I backed the combine out and I looked to my left and they was kind of standing there like, the heck were you doing? Well, I'm back in the combine now. And I just said, hey, this road actually ends down there. I just don't want anyone getting hurt, so.
It's definitely a safety issue, but I
Yeah.
think you guys understand
Yeah.
that. The only thing in question here now is the line, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would allow you to post a,
Yeah.
no trespassing sign there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Craig Jensen said, that
It
they'll
is.
put a
It
in
is.
county maintenance sign
Right.
on, that way as people know. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
So it won't impact your Google Maps delivery from UPS?
Even if they drop them there, we can walk down the road. When that in road is, we're up and down it 20 times a day. Got an overpass there when the interstate went through, we'll go to the left there.
no, you're in a public hearing.
Okay.
You're good. So, I don't know. We're not,
We're still in public hearing.
no, I know.
Okay,
I'm just, knowing what Brandon said and not having an attorney here. I suppose we can just table this until next Tuesday. And
Unless you want me to call the county attorney. He's in the building.
you can call him. He may not answer. And he may not have the answer. So,
I think today is just hearing any
Right.
for or
is there
against. and-
anybody against? Not against. So, but I think we can, probably close the public hearing and then table the action until next Tuesday to confirm what we,
You'll need a motion to table after you close it.
so
Right.
move.
you're closing the public hearing.
Yes.
Okay,
Second.
discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, or roll call?
Roll call. Chairman Belt,
All right,
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Right.
Supervisor Miller.
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman absent.
okay, so now I just need a motion to table resolution number 37-2025.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Pending further legal.
Yeah, we'll just get, well, Brandon and legal.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll let you know, but you probably don't need to return next Tuesday. If you want to, you're certainly welcome, but you can watch us on TV too if you want. Well, I'll call you next Tuesday. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Any other discussion?
Nope.
This doesn't need to be a roll call, does it? All those in favor of tabling it, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Brandon, you're hot on the sheet here, man. Interim engineer discussion and or decision to approve, authorize board chairman to sign the right-of-way contract for project L-2025, parent VA 28, parent -78.
I will make a motion to approve. We've talked about this previous meetings.
Second.
That's so you can get a wider girth for that bridge.
Yes, the inlet for the culvert would be outside the right of way, so we like having permanent easement around the infrastructure.
Is that project scheduled for, later this year then, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Brandon Biermeister, interim engineer discussion and decision to approve the board to sign resolution 38-2025 entitled Resolution to Amend 2026 County 5-Year Program, CFYP.
So move.
Second.
Basically with this, we put in for a grant for a bridge replacement project. And those, they sent out an email, you go through all your bridges. We found one that did meet all the qualifications, so we submitted it. Then it kind of waits for a while, and then all of a sudden you get hey, you need to do this, and this to be included in this package, and you have about a week to do it. So this is submittal of Right 3 is the bridge. It's on M47 north of Highway 6. And it would be $800,000 of grant funding, and the other 200,000 of the funding for the bridge would be farm to market money. So no local money, and it would be in a package with about 20 other bridges for this funding. And this group has been very successful in past years with securing these grants. So
Yeah.
Good deal.
And what's the funding source for this grant?
it's a competitive highway bridge program grant funding.
It's from the IDOT bucket.
You know, the federal government, I think it was
Yeah.
from the
Feds down in
IIJA.
Iowa. Yeah. What's up? Do you got any idea of the age of this bridge here?
Built in 1964, I
Oh, really?
believe. So it's deteriorating like slabs of that age do that are on pavement. They
No, you can
fall
see
in
the-
corner.
deterioration of it, looks like some work's been done on it.
Thanks for putting that together.
Any other discussion? Need a roll call?
Yes. Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman absent.
Okay, Becky Linehan, Finance and Tax
Thanks,
Officer.
Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Discussion and or decision to approve and authorize board to sign resolution number 36-2025 entitled Resolution to Transfer Ski Hill Fund to Property Acquisition Improvement Maintenance Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Good morning. It's just the, transfer for the repayment of the, capital loan given to Christmas. So,
So it was the $25,230.71.
that is the first payment.
250,000 next year.
Doesn't,
Right, but this isn't, we're just dealing with this, right? So that's the amount of money.
Right.
Okay. And we have a motion and a second, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's, no,
It's not fair, but yes,
I know it's not fair. Motion was. Okay, was it?
Shea and Jorgensen second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman absent.
Okay, discussion and or decision to approve board chair to sign a letter of support for the Kalar Park revitalization location in Minden for T-Mobile Hometown Grant Program.
Yeah, and the city of Minden is requesting $50,000 to improve the Kaler Park, which was damaged considerably by the tornado a year ago. And they've got a great plan laid out and have taken a lot of things into consideration for improvement. And I will make the motion to approve the letter of
No,
support.
second that.
What does the T-Mobile grant? Do you,
Sounds
It's-
right.
It's a quarterly grant program.
for T-Mobile?
Yes, and they do awards up to 50,000 each. And it's become very popular because they're an easier grant to apply for. It's not as complex as a lot of them. And I think T-Mobile's trying to make more of a presence here in Southwest Iowa, so
Right. So you're allowed to apply every year then?
yes,
So some of the other towns could do
yes.
it too.
In fact, MAPPA sent out the T-Mobile application to all of the rural communities to let them know that this grant opportunity was open.
That's all for T-Mobile.
Is it mostly for recreation or is it just an open grant?
Community needs.
Okay,
I mean, it's more for the low hanging fruit, the
sure,
beautification projects,
pickleball.
perhaps.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign.
please take that out, Jamie.
No, this
It's
is
a grant.
this is a grant
Oh,
app.
it's a grant.
It's just a letter of support.
Board.
Oh, perfect. All right, thank
Yeah, they're the best kind.
you.
You can take it out of the T-Mobile's gaming.
That's okay.
Motion and second to approve and authorize the chairman to sign law enforcement service contracts between Potawatomi County and the following cities: City of Avoca, City of Carson, City of Crescent, City of Hancock, City of Macedonia, City of McClellan, City of Minden, City of Neola, City of Oakland, City of Trainer, City of Underwood and City of Warren. We're just missing the City of Shelby still.
I
Never get that.
reviewed the contracts and it looks like they're very similar to last year.
Yeah,
The population census haven't changed, so the dollar amounts haven't changed. I do know that all of the small towns struggle with speeding in their jurisdictions. And I wish there was a way we could get people to follow the law when you're driving on residential roads where the speed limit is 25. And I wish our deputies would take a more proactive, a zero tolerance position when it comes to speeding in residential areas. But that's outside the contract. That's just my wish.
I think there's probably quite a few folks that have that same wish.
No, Crescent's crazy.
So I will make the motion to approve and authorize the chairperson to sign these law enforcement agreements
I'll
with
second.
communities.
You know, I noticed a lot of these smaller communities now have signs there that's.
Yeah, speed
indicate how-
signs.
Speed signs.
Yeah, on the main,
How
on their,
fast you're going.
on their main roads.
And if you're going too fast, it'll come up, you can read, slow down, slow down, slow down. I mean, it's very, very effective. It puts, it makes me put my brakes on. I was amazed, and there's a lot of these communities that have that kind of.
That was a DOT initiative that from last year that they helped us get those signs, but it slows them down on the highways. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
right.
control them within.
I think the city of Crescent bought their own
They could have.
years back. It's like they see how fast they can go. They go by our parks about 50 to 60.
Just a matter of there's rules out there. We wish our citizens would follow them.
Well, if they get, find out real fast, if they get about 3 of those in a year's period, they don't probably have a license. And that word gets around pretty fast to people when you're driving without a driver's license in these towns. So
Right,
it's all about enforcement.
All about enforcement.
Yep.
You got it.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Janet Limerick, Director, Human Resources, discussion and or decision to approve and authorize board to sign Pot County Sheriff's Deputy Association wage reopener agreement effective July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026.
This is our last year with the wage reopener for the deputies, so this next year we'll be opening the full contract, and going into negotiation. But this is the wage reopener that we discussed with the deputies for a, 3.25% pay increase plus a step, for their uniformed and non-uniformed employees, and corporals get $1 more.
I'll move.
Second, and I see the Sheriff's Association has already signed the contract.
Yes, they have signed it. Yep.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees asked me, Local 2364 Roads Employees Agreement effective July 1 of 2025 through June 30 of 2028.
This is the first year of a 3-year contract with the Secondary Roads Department. Year 2 and year 3 will be wage reopener only. We've agreed to a 3.25% total pay increase with that wage reopener in year 2 and year 3.
I'll move.
Union, have they signed this one already?
They have, it's in my inbox this morning, but yes. Oh, no, it's right there. Yep, they signed it.
They signed a red
All
line
of these
copy?
have ratified by the union. Yep,
They signed a red line.
yep, that's the one I have. This is the red line version that I have signed.
Just-
Yeah, I sent it to them in red line so they could see any changes that I made as well. And then once we're all done I'll take the red line off and accept all changes. And then that's what will be put on the website, the final version.
memorandum of understanding between Potawatomi County and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, ASME, Local 2364 Roads Employees Agreement effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30, 2028.
This is just an extension of this MOU where they can cash out up to 40 hours of their comp time once per year. This isn't new. We've had this for years, so there's no changes to this. That's just a continuation and making the dates match with the union contract. Motion to approve.
Gotcha. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. General drivers, helpers, local number 554, affiliate of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, detention officer, union contract effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028.
This entire contract was open this year, and we've agreed to a 3.25% total pay increase with a wage reopener in year 2 and in year 3. There's some language change in the contract, which you'll see. It doesn't impact any dollars. It just impacts how they do their shift bid. They requested that language, what dates they do their shift bid, and all of that. So those are the changes in the contract. They have, that is in my inbox. The union had the union steward, the union rep had the union stewards review this over the weekend just to check on that language change. And he emailed me yesterday saying it's good to go. To approve.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, ASME, Local 2364-911, union contract effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028.
Again, this entire contract was open. We've agreed to a 5.5% pay increase, plus a step with a wage reopener in year 2 and year 3. And again, you'll see some language change in there. Again, that language change doesn't cost us any dollars. It's just clarifying some items. And then we put in the 12-hour shifts into the contract, which has been living in that MOU for years, and it's now in the contract.
Hey, filled up now?
I don't think so.
How many spots they got?
That I'm not sure.
I wish you told me they were.
I know we've got somebody starting on June 30th, but yeah, I'm not sure how many more spots.
Question, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Memorandum of understanding between Potawatomi County and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, ASME, Local 2364-11, agreement for the employees of the Potawatomi County Communications Center, July 1st, 2025 through June 30, 2028.
The only change to this one was under uniforms. Previously, it said that employees were given 5 shirts, but they could pick a sweatshirt, a t-shirt. It varied, and so we went ahead and just made it a flat $200. And so then they could choose what they want, and then the prices don't vary per employee, but the average was $200, so we just made it a flat $200. Yep.
So moved.
Second.
Question? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Suzanne Watson, Director, CEO,
You're welcome.
Community Services, discussion and or decision on how many more titles she can have. To red circle, 2 employees moving from regional director grade to DAP supervisor grade. This soup is gonna make so much sense. Everybody's gonna leave here.
I try to give you as many abbreviations so I can confuse you as much as possible. So yeah, this is for two current directors who had extensive involvement in getting us in place for our disability access point and transitioning from administration to supervision. And so I'd like to follow the red circle policy that's in the county's handbook regarding that and ask that you red circle them at their current hourly rate until 5/26 catches up to that.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion?
For your work on all these. I know it's a pain.
Work is just starting.
I know. Ahead, I appreciate
Yes,
that.
we are.
For the bulletproof vest. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Suzanne, to hire Liz Bringle, is that right?
Lisa,
Or shoes, Lisa
Mhm.
Bringle, at grade 522, step 11.
yeah, so we had an agreement with Rolling Hills Region when we were working on our request for proposals for the disability access point. And then the other one that we did not receive, that we were in partnership with them and they helped us with our data and did stuff together. Lisa's been a long-term employee with Cherokee County for probably 20 years. And so anyway, very confident she's able to do the job that she's currently doing. So she's pretty much a service navigator currently and has been in this role for 20 years. So I couldn't bring her in less than this step. So I am requesting a step 11 for Lisa.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. To hire Cheryl Oldenkamp at a grade 522, step 6.
Yeah, so similar, but a little different. So Cheryl did targeted case management for Woodbury County for 17 years. That was our program that we closed about 12 years ago. All the counties had to. Again, extensive experience. Can't really justify starting her at a step 1. She's had 17 years of experience doing exactly this job, and then since then has continued to live in the District 1 area and has extensive knowledge of all those programs. So we really need to bring her in at that level.
I'll move it.
I'll second you.
Both of these individuals we just have done, like you said, have extensive work and history in these positions. So, I mean, and not knowing how the state programs are gonna work, I mean, are they gonna be, moving on with their life and their life cycles? I mean, people working 20, 25 years, 30 years, I mean, they.
Yeah, these people will continue to work for the next several years. So they're excited to get back in the job or continue to do it. And it is, I haven't done this for other people in the past, except for that they did, it's pretty much the same job our current service coordinators are doing. When we bring other people in that haven't done this job, then that's different. But this is pretty much exactly what our current service coordinators are doing.
And we are 1 year contracts at a time, right?
Yeah, 1 year at a time. I'm confident it will be beyond that, but wanted to,
Putting money down.
I guess I shouldn't be too confident because they could change their mind. We found out pretty quickly. So yeah.
Okay. So we'll all hope that we get continued contracts.
Yes.
Okay, number 4, to hire, is it Kaylin? Kaylin Bishop at grade 522, step 4.
Yep, she's another one from the Rolling Hills region. She's worked there for 3 years. She's a go-getter, has been doing this service coordinator job there in Buena Vista County.
I'll move it.
Second.
Discussion. Only discussion, I would have Suzanne probably, and I don't know when it would be convenient, but if it is an opportunity for these three to come here to Pot County, it'd be nice to kind of put faces with
Yes.
names.
Absolutely. I will bring them and introduce them when they get started, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing
Thank
none.
you, Susan.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign.
Any other contract updates?
No, we're, let's see, 1 week away from startup with the disability access point. We're being patient with the state, and again, I guess all I'll say at this point is I am very glad that we were chosen to do this, because we will be the stable force in moving forward with this, and so I will stay on the positive side here, but I think I'm really happy that we're still in this, because all pieces of the system are gonna need our help in moving forwards.
Well, you proved that the jail people,
Yeah,
But no,
that was a good move.
yeah, it's together.
yeah, I just received that contract, so
Oh, you did?
a copy of it, yeah. So we'll see what it says.
Well, that's
They
good.
got it today.
Excellent.
What, so are these individuals have to come and get ID'd and everything?
Yep.
And backgrounds?
This week, yep. They'll
all
be
that
down this
stuff,
week
mhm.
for all that, yep.
So you could be proud owners of a Pot County shirt.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll be running all over those other counties.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Suzanne.
Yep, thank you.
Do you need these back today?
No, you can just do the normal, give them
Okay.
to, sign them and give them
Okay.
to
Thank you.
Jen.
Okay. You're supposed to probably take on Christine Brack, or attorney, discussion and decision to approve and authorize chairman to sign employment agreements with Director of Community Service Suzanne Watson.
Kristen asked that I could field any questions for this contract. if you have any.
Kristen?
Yeah, Kristen's not able to be here today.
Well, looking it over, I don't see anything out of place.
And the salary includes a 3.25 in.
Is the 3.25 the same as all other department heads? Correct. Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes.
Thank you for all your work.
Keep up the good work.
Back to work.
Go back. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Discussion and or decision to approve applications for permits to display fireworks filed by Ryan Rogers on June 28th, 2025 at 15259 214th Street, Council Bluffs. Okay.
Looks like everything's in place, correct, Matt?
For Mr. Rogers, yes.
I will
He's
make a motion to approve that.
With,
Okay.
my question has to do with the changes that the governor just signed in to law with effect to fireworks. Do we even have any jurisdiction over these permits anymore? Is it out of our hands? Is it willy-nilly across the state?
But last I talked to Kristen, it's still board's discretion on these display fireworks pieces of it. That paragraph remained the same, where the board may issue a permit for display fireworks to the, what was the term we talked about last time? The capable, I think it was the way it listed it out, like a capable individual.
Who gets to decide that?
That was my struggle on that, so, but
So do we have, did we get that insurance, or did the governor not allow us to get the insurance clause put in the application for permit?
he submitted insurance with this. There's not a defined amount of insurance required for
Or is
them.
it defined or not?
There's not a defined amount in there, so it's, Mr. Rogers' insurance seems to be all in line with everything that needs to be there.
That, and then who and when will make the call if we have a burn ban in place?
That comes from Potawatomi County EMA.
And then,
I'm sure,
pardon, and then that filters through the volunteer fire departments?
I think they do that. I'm not sure of Doug's process. I would imagine he consults with them as he does that. I mean, they were,
So does EMA know that we are issuing these particular ones? So that they can't say they never heard, the EMA should be contacting these if there is one.
I can certainly email them over
You
to
know,
him.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I mean, it's wet now, but by July 4th, it could be brown again here.
Mhm.
If we know they have large tanks, tank wagons with water, so.
But those guys all like to be enjoying the fireworks with their families. Rather than
Mhm.
sitting at the fire station.
No, I'm not talking them,
Who have large tanks?
like at this Rogers project.
These have large water tanks?
There's people that are there with,
Really?
Yep.
Well, I know he's got a large swimming pool.
he does, but they've got a tanker there.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Now we got Robert Caputo on July 4th, 2025 at 22813 Bridge Road, Council Bluffs.
Mr. Caputo's, unfortunately, they submitted expired insurance to us. And we made a bunch of attempts here, and that's why I was checking my phone as much as I could to see if they were going to have that updated and to us by the time of this meeting, but we have not received any notification of that. They have done fireworks permits with the county for as long as I can remember for their display fireworks that they do. But this year, their insurance actually shows that it expired on 6/19 of 25.
You just have to be able to contact them.
We got a hold of Mr. Caputo this morning. He's going in, he was at the hospital heading in for a surgery. Got referred to his wife. There's some medical problems there, referred to an insurance agent who's not gonna show up for work until 11 o'clock. So we're kind of stuck in this spot where this is the last chance for them to have a fireworks permit, but we do not have the updated insurance.
Matt, could I make a motion to approve pending updated insurance?
That would be at your discretion, I think, so.
We
I
table
mean,
it.
he's been responsible in the past.
Yeah, this has gone on for they've done it for a number of years.
Right.
I don't know that we've ever gotten any complaints on what they've done out there. Their documentation in the past is all in there. It's just this year, we got that expired June 19th.
I agree with Brian. There's some way we can accommodate with insurance.
Yeah, if that's the motion
I
you
will
want to
make
make,
a
with
motion to approve this pending updated insurance, especially if he's in the hospital right now.
Yes, so I'll second that.
Okay. Insurance needs to be effective by July 1st. Do that.
It'll probably just be a continuation from 6/19/2025 to 6/19/2026.
Policy people.
Auto owners.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those like sign. Opposed.
Thanks,
Motion
Matt.
passes.
thank you.
Okay, committee appointments, Jeff.
Matt, you want to stick around for just a second? I got a question for you.
I was at the national meeting for the juvenile detention center. And I've got some news to report. They had an incident on June 2nd. There was four individuals in the facility that were not Potawatomi County residents. They do take in kids from other areas. Three of them were from Polk County. At about 7 o'clock in the evening, they started a ruckus. The facility had four employees there. Two of them were outside at the time and two of them were inside. When the two insides tried to break up the ruckus, one of the individuals grabbed her, it was a female at the time, and put her in a chokehold and tried to grab her keys so they could get out, so they could escape. It was very troubling to hear this incident happen at our facility here in Council Bluffs. I asked the director if they had what is called a panic button. You know, our school districts these days have a resource, deputy sheriff, call a resource officer for the schools. If the schools are having issues and need to call in law enforcement, they can call in at 911. 911 will dial into their cameras at the school and see what's going on before even police even get there. They can be aware of what the situation is. But our juvenile detention center has no such option. So at this point, I'm going to say that Melissa will come in and probably describe what happened. But I'm certainly going to be for putting some type of a system in there where they can also get immediate help from our law enforcement if that ever happens again. So anyway, everybody was okay. But like I said, I was very troubling to hear how that went. That's all I have.
Or then last week we done the chamber leadership graduation meet, and that was pretty neat. One of the things that the three top things for the whole area is affordable housing, education, and recreation. Them are the top three things in almost every survey for keeping and retaining younger families. And that just sticks with me. I hear that again and again and again in all these meetings. And that was definitely a proven point. And then I had a couple of other things, but that's good.
All right, I was on vacation last week, but I did listen to the KMA broadcast from the Mills County Supervisor meeting last Tuesday. And they mentioned that the contract with you, Matt, had been renewed for another year to serve as their planning director.
Consultant happened in February of this year.
It was just on the agenda last week for renewal.
No, that was in February of this year. Then what they talked about last week was their posting of the positions that they have down there. It didn't have anything to do with the contract that I served in a consultant role with.
Okay, is that still just a temporary contract?
Yes,
What's the end date?
February with a 30-day cancellation notice at any time between either party.
That 15 hours a month.
15 out, no, I mean, it varies. So
Contract doesn't specify,
it's an hourly rate,
but not how many hours a month.
no.
And you're still providing all of those hours on your vacation time and evenings?
Of course, yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Heard your name on the news. I just wanted to confirm it.
Same as what I told you in the text message, so.
Thank you. And then following up from our meeting yesterday, our special meeting, we did not complete the meeting as we should have. We voted not to renew or not to reinstate the county engineer, but we did not take any action on what our response to the grievance was going to be.
County attorney's got 7 days to give it to us.
He has 7 days to respond after our decision. No, our decision was not to reinstate. We
Right.
had three options and we didn't pick any of the three. So we need to have a special meeting on Thursday at the taxpayer expense, so we can get an option on the table so that our county attorney can respond to the grievance.
So coming from the county attorney.
That's his instructions that he gave us yesterday before the meeting.
I don't know that I think we answered that, but I'll check with him.
He'll be out of town on Friday, so Thursday's the only logical time that we can get a special meeting so that we can finish up the action. Because next Tuesday would be too late. We will be outside the 7-day requirement. That's all I got.
I went to the watershed, east and west, Nishnabotna. I went to MAPPA, 911, about how the state's gonna take our 911 money from us. FEMA, caring communities, Noble Lake, and NACO's Central Regional hearing. And the new one was, yeah, there's one after another. The new one was River Valley Partner Meeting. So
Scott, what do you mean they're gonna take our 911 money?
the governor signed the bill on the last day that they are going to
See that?
send us a bill. Looks like it's rough numbers, according to me, Sam, and my calculations, about $100,000 off our 911 money. We get $1 for every phone in the county. It's supposed to go to 911, but now they want to take it, so about $100,000 short. That's,
I just now read that.
yeah, bill, I don't, was it 596? I gave the, well, I think it might be laying out on my desk too. I'll get it to you.
Thank you.
Wow. That's not good.
So now we have public comment. What do we have?
We have three,
Okay,
Doug Irwin, Ray Wagner, and Shauna Anderson.
okay, who wants to start?
Donna Anderson, 19377 340th Street in Oakland. As a rural resident and someone that either attends or has watched every board meeting for the last few years, I cannot understand how this board voted to terminate our county engineer. I have watched for years as he has explained getting funding for projects to this board with a patience that is just unbelievable. He has explained that in a way that even those of us without a background in roads can understand. I live on L66, also known as Minden Road, 340th Street. You know, we've got all the names out there. And when it was being worked on a few years back, it started as a nightmare. I was extremely displeased with the lack of care taken to clear the dirt that we were to drive on of large chunks of asphalt and rebar. You've all seen me enough to know that when I'm displeased, I'm a pain in the ass. I fired off one hell of a snarky email to our county engineer, as at the time I didn't realize that it wasn't our county doing the actual work, but a private company. Mr. Rasmussen handled that situation exactly as a leader should. He listened to my concerns, informed me that it was a private company doing the work, and then stepped up to let them know that they were doing subpar work and endangering the residents that lived on that road. I immediately saw a difference. No more chunks of asphalt left to damage our cars, no more rebar poking out of the road. I don't even know if John remembers this or if it was even a blip on his radar or what, but it spoke volumes to myself and my neighbors about his work ethic and showing that he cares for the impacts that his department has on county residents. I would like to piggyback off of Mark Shoemaker's public comments a few weeks ago here. It's a shame, and you should be ashamed of doing this to a valued public servant without so much as thanking him for the work and service he has given to this county. On the same day that three of you surprised the other two in what appeared to be a planned out firing, John presented bids for a bridge replacement, and two resolutions. One of those being that he was able to find the funds to add to Tamarack and to the 5-year plan. One of his agenda items was literally letting you know that he managed to pull funding out of thin air for a road that you had all wanted done. On the very day he presented that, 5 agenda items later, you terminated his contract without blinking an eye. You mentioned that you didn't want to make a performance review during that meeting, but yet isn't that what should matter here? If you can't produce an issue with job performance, should you just end someone's public service career without even discussing it as a board? The lack of communication as a board and the lack of being prepared to continue what was going on in the roads departments resulted in our county losing over $7 million in grants immediately following. $7 million. And that's just the grant that I know about now. Not anything else that was possibly lost that was in the works. As was mentioned that day on May 27th, there were no documented complaints about John or his work ethic. There were no documented complaints about anything that had happened in the roads department. There isn't a line of qualified engineers lined up around the corner, especially not when they could make more working in the public sector. I was told in conversation that I've heard he's hard to work with on new developments. Quite frankly, if I, as a taxpayer, am paying for roads to lead to new developments that developers are making millions off of, that's pretty sickening. Not to mention the fact he shouldn't be required to use taxpayer dollars to build a road to a new development that doesn't even exist yet. The county engineer doesn't work for the developers that make millions off of new subdivisions. They work for us, the taxpayers. I don't want my tax dollars paying for some company to have a road to homes people here can't afford anyways. Not that that's a good reason to file a public servant, but if that was the so-called problem was, then good for him. Way to be a good steward of taxpayer dollars. We need more than that, but it seems this board as a whole is more than interested in keeping just their good friends and buddies happy.
Next up.
Ray Wagner, 22502 Weston Ave, Underwood. I did not understand the reason for letting John Rasmussen go. I'm new at this. I am a member of the Republican Central Committee, have been for about 4 years now. I understand a little bit. I don't understand a whole lot yet. John has seemed to me to be a very competent individual and very committed to the job that he does. From what I heard yesterday, you have backed him for the last 20 years on everything that he's wanted. I'm sure there's probably been a little bit of roughness here and there, but you figure out how to get along and you get along. As a taxpayer, we need men like that here. As long as you follow the rules, and the rules are probably pretty doggone clear. A man doing his job is a man we need in position. Not a man doing a job walking on eggshells, worried about what everyone else thinks he's doing. You do your job, you do it to the best of your ability, and you stand on that. Now, it's the way I understood it from hearing yesterday, what you guys want to do going forward is different than what John has planned. And I also understand that not everybody understands what you want to do going forward because it's not totally clear. Well, to let John go the way he was let go, I don't think is in line with how it's supposed to be done. It was said earlier today that in using a speed limit, that if people would just follow the rules. As a person who elects people, I expect them to follow the rules. And it didn't sound like you followed the rules on this. Drop the ball. Sounds like we lost $7 million. Not good. To let John go when his contract is up next month anyway, to fire him is to humiliate him in the public eye. It's a personal vendetta. Anyone with any kind of intelligence understands you just let the contract run out. You don't fire him. Now we're gonna get litigation, probably go to court, and it's gonna cost the taxpayers a lot more money. Well, as a voting member, I understand that it's not right. You're messing with way too many tax dollars. Now you're gonna have a special meeting to finish the meeting yesterday. It's gonna cost the taxpayers more money. I don't get where you're going with this. The only thing I can do is speak my mind and say,
Wrap it up.
we do have an election coming up.
Yep.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Yep.
I come from a background in large corporations. I've been at managed people, I've managed projects, and I have managed POTUS budgets. And so when I saw what happened here, what I'm gonna talk about is about John Rasmussen's firing. Grievance meetings. It appears to me that 3 of the 5 supervisors plotted to remove John Rasmussen from this position under the guise of moving in a different direction, which hasn't been defined. I haven't heard anything. That's these 3 implied that Rasmussen was underperforming, and there are no documented incidents. If Rasmussen would have been underperforming in his job, there should have been some documented incidents. That's just basic HR practices. And that's what I noted here. Those incidents should have been documented. Documenting is a fundamental HR practice. And leaders and the way leaders act. Firing someone the way you did was vindictive, unethical, and weak leadership. What do you think the others in this building, the worker bees, what do you think they thought? You asked them? Do you actually do leadership work, talking to your worker bees every once in a while, getting feedback from them? It needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Uh,
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, we are adjourned.